All right, days 12 through 15 are all going to be the same. I'm calling it OO ping pong because we're going to bounce around from one thing to another. Step one, I want you to talk to a wall again. So remember, that means you stand up, you hold your speech, and you read. At this point, you're reading your speech. You're just reading it to the wall. Remember, your speech are the black letters plus the blue quoted letters, but not the red letter summaries necessarily, unless maybe at some point you change those to black because they worked for you in that way. That's fine as long as you give credit to your sources. But I want you to stand up and give your speech. Here's the thing. You're secretly memorizing your speech. You just don't realize it right now, and I don't want you to think of it as memorizing because that's a whole thing. So just literally read your speech to the wall. Move right and left when you're supposed to move right or left. That's step one. Do that now. Step two is you may realize that you need to adjust some things. You might need to move some stuff around in your speech. You might think of some funny things you want to add to the speech, or another story, or something that you want to insert into a speech to fill it out a little bit. So you'll stop at that point and do that. If something occurs to you where you need to actually change the writing in your speech, you'll go back to the doc, change it. Don't think of this as more work that you're doing, right? Like if you're like, oh, I need to add this thing about this thing, but I don't want to because then I have to sit down and do it. Try to avoid that kind of thinking. Think of this as really polishing the speech. You're making it better and better. You're chipping away stuff that doesn't work. You're adding stuff that's even better. So that means you're going to give your speech when an idea occurs to you, because an idea should occur to you. You'll go back, you'll type it, you'll print it out, and you'll start the process over again. So that's why this is called ping pong. So for these 3 days, you're spending most of your time walking and talking. When you get through your entire speech, you're going to take your 5-minute break. Then you're going to come back and you're going to walk and talk again. So you're just giving the speech constantly with 5-minute breaks in between. And then if you have a thought or you need to change something or adjust something, you do it, right? So that's how this works for the next 3 days. By the end of these 3 days, you should be able to, without looking at your speech, stand there, walk and talk and give me your speech. And in fact, you will on the last day. So that's your assignment. 1, 2, 3, go.